In this video, I'm going to discuss how Australian vocational education and training system works. So there are two objectives of this video. One is to provide you an introduction to various government entities and organizations. And the second objective is to explain what is the framework of training package development. Because training packages are developed in Australia in collaboration with industry. And we will see how it works. This video is useful for someone who is doing a diploma in training design and development, or even certificate 4 in training and assessment, or even if you are working as a trainer, this video might act as a refresher. And I am making this video because when I was doing my diploma in training design and development from TAFE New South Wales, during the first unit, I found it very difficult to find very important information how these government organizations work. And the reason behind is that all the information is scattered on various government websites. You have to collect bits and pieces and then you have to connect them. So therefore I decided to make this video to help someone who could be in my situation. And these are some of the organizations which play certain role in the development of training packages and in collaboration with industry. And we will see how all this works and how we get a training package. So we have a lot to cover, so let's get started after a short break. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Tahir and I make videos about online teaching and courses and some of the technology tools which are available to students and teachers. If you are interested in this topic, please hit the subscribe button and also the notification bell to get notified whenever I post a new video on this channel. Now, Department of Education, Skills and Employment is the top organization at the national level. Then we have another organization at the national level which is ASQA, Australian Skills Quality Authority. And then we have Council of Australian Governments. So my plan in this video is that I will start from Council of Australian Governments and we go downwards. Then I will explain the role of ASQA at one stage, and finally I will show you a very important website which is training.gov.au, and during this course we will see the role of these organizations and the development process of any training package. Council of Australian Governments consists of all state premiers or state heads. They are the members of this council, but this COAG is supported by some interjurisdictional and ministerial level councils. There are few of them, and their job is collaboration between states and decision making on those issues which are national level issues. And when we talk about training or wet sector, the council which deals with these matters is called COAG Industry and Skills Council, or CISC. And this is how it works. CISC makes the policies on the advice of another committee which is called Australian Industry and Skills Committee, AISC, and this is very important. This plays a very important role, and this committee is the committee which deals with the government on the top side and industry on the lower side, and you will see in a minute. And AISC give advice to CISC, which makes the policies for training, and then they send it to all state premiers. Now these are some of the roles or functions of AISC. And as I mentioned that I am making this video because I found it hard to find the information on various websites, and I wanted to put all that in this video. And most of the information presented in this video is taken from government websites. So these are some of the functions of AISC: to advise, to sign off training packages for implementation, and this also oversees the process of development and approval for accredited training. And there are some other related functions. Now let's talk about training package development framework. This consists of three main entities. The first is AISC, which we have discussed. The second is IRCs, Industry Reference Committees, and I will explain this in a minute. Then the third component is SSOs, Skills Services Organizations. These are the entities, I think there are 6 of them, who get funding from the government and they support IRCs. Now this is the organizational structure. AISC is the top body and IRCs and SSOs are under AISC. SSOs support IRCs which provide certain feedback and very important industry information to AISC, which is further passed on to CISC and so on. And now let's talk about some of the stakeholders. We have some peak bodies like controlling organizations, top organizations in any sector. Then in the industry we have employers and worker unions, and then we have training providers who provide or deliver resources for various training packages. And remember one thing, that training package is not what is delivered to the students. Training package is a basis of resource development by RTOs, or the training organizations, registered training organizations, and then they develop their curriculum and other resources based on the training package. But training package contains the skill sets, the knowledge, and some other assessment criteria and these kind of things. But based on those skill sets, you have to develop curriculum which you deliver to the students. So this is the job of RTO. Now what happens is that we take few members from each of these four stakeholders. There are some other stakeholders like government, students. Students also want that their qualification must be recognized or must be accepted across all states and these kind of things. But the way we make IRCs is that we take few members from all these four group of people and we make an IRC. And there are quite a few IRCs in various sectors. For example, some are for tourism, some are for child care, some are for first aid and these kind of things. And these are some of the functions of IRCs I have listed here. IRCs are the industry engagement mechanism. These are the committees which have people who have industry experience, they know the trends, they provide feedback to AISC. And they also promote VET to industry employers, so that when students after passing out from training organizations, they go for jobs, employers know that they have the skill set for the industry and they have a confidence. So this is also a job of IRC. And by looking at the recent needs of the industry, IRCs also make recommendations for new training packages or for the review of the training package, and they make their recommendations to AISC. Now this image is very important to understand. Within this box we have two entities. One is IRCs, industry reference committees, and one are skill service organizations. Now SSOs get the funding from the government and they support IRCs. Every SSO, as I mentioned that there are only few SSOs, 6 or something. So they support these IRCs because they have the funding, they have the resources. So whatever are the requirements of IRCs, they support them. And for this support, they have to make MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, between a SSO and an IRC. And in this Memorandum of Understanding, they define what type of support they are going to provide to a specific IRC. Each SSO has few IRCs, so they sign MOU and then they collaborate with each other. And then they make recommendations for any training package review or a new training package to AISC. Now let's talk about very important organization, ASCA. ASCA is National VET Regulator. This organization gets its power from National VET Regulator Act 2011. ASCA is responsible for protecting the quality and reputation of Australian VET sector. By looking at various things, that all the courses are properly accredited, all RTOs are following the rules and regulations, so that employer can have a confidence in VET sector and they rest assured that when a student comes to them for a job with TAFE qualification, so they can trust on that student, that the student has the knowledge and the skills. So all this is the responsibility of ASCA. And ASCA is the regulatory body for all the RTOs in these states, and you will notice that Victoria and Western Australia are not included in this, because for these two states only if they provide training courses to overseas students. And it is also a regulatory authority for all those course providers who provide English language intensive courses for overseas students, with few exceptions. And these exceptions are those training providers who are acting as a school or some higher education, and there are few exceptions which you can see on their website. But in simple words, ASCA regulates training providers and the accredited courses, and these are the two important pillars of VET system. And now let's go back to this image once again, and I would like to show you an important document from one of the Australian government websites which will explain to you what is the role of SSOs and IRCs. This document is called 5-stage VET skills pipeline. So there is a 5-step process of training development. The first is skills forecast and identification. So IRCs is looking at the industry trends, and what they do is that they forecast certain skills, that these skills will be required in next certain years. So this is the first stage. Then you have to make certain standards, certain policies, and you have to adjust those skills in Australian qualification framework, which I am going to show you in a minute. That is the second step, skills standard development. And basically this is the step where training package is developed. So these two organizations are doing the job of these two stages, skill forecast and identification, and this can lead to a new training package design or a review of an older package. So these are the two possible outcomes from this stage. When they come to this stage, then they might have to make some other policies, new policies based on industry feedback. So SSOs and IRCs, they work together and they are working basically level 1 and 2. Now then what will happen is that they will give their suggestions to AISC, and policies and other things will be developed, and when the package will be approved, then the next stage comes, and the next stage is resource development. Now RTOs will play their role and they will develop some training, learning resources and assessment resources, assessment criteria and other related documents as per ASCA requirement. They will develop training resources and then they will deliver the training, and finally the outcome will be skilled workers, which will boost Australian economy. So this is the ultimate goal of all this VET system. Skilled workers, booming economy. And now let's quickly talk about Australian qualification framework, because most of you already should know about this, but I want to make this video a comprehensive guide for students at least. So AQF is basically a national policy for regulated qualifications and training in Australia. So what they have done is that they have put all various qualifications in various sectors of industry into one single comprehensive framework. So there are 10 levels of Australian qualification framework from 1 to 10. 1 is less complex and 10 is most complex. And you can also find this AQF document on their website where they have explained all these levels. So by looking at these levels, you can see that what you can expect as far as knowledge and skills are concerned from a graduate of a specific level. So have a look at this document if you want to get more information. Now let's talk about very important website, which is training.gov.au. This is a national register on VET, and this is an authoritative source of two very important things. The first is NRT, nationally recognized training, and this includes training packages, qualifications, unit of competency, accredited courses and skill sets. And the second important thing which you can find on this website is the information about registered training organizations. So let me remove myself so that you could read this. So you can find which RTO has been approved and what is their scope, meaning what courses they can deliver. So this is very important resource. And now let's have a look at this website. As you can see that I am on this course, Diploma of Training Design and Development, and on this page I can see what are the unit of competencies required for this diploma. So all these are here. I can also check which of these are core and which of these are elective. So let's say I click on this core unit of competency. Now I can see some further details, and the best part is that there is the PDF available. I can click on this, I can download the PDF, and when you are doing a diploma, you will be interacting with this website a lot because you will be making assignments and other things, If you are doing this diploma in TAFE, it is very extensive. You have to study and you have to make a lot of assignments, and there are also some other logistics involved in this diploma. So this is it for this video. If you have any issues, if you are facing any problem in your diploma, you are facing some problem in your assignments, you can put in the comments and I will try to help. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share with your colleagues, because that will help me grow my channel. Also see the description of this video. If I find any useful link, I might put in the description of this video in future. So thanks for watching and see you next time.